Welcome to Mr. Moon has left the building. Addy, we are back. How are you?
Good to be back, mate. Yeah, very well. How you doing?
Not too bad. We're in Como at the moment. So if you could see next to me, I've got two. I'm in a hotel room in Como because we're out here for my daughter's got a chance to try out for Team GB show jumping, which we're very proud of. But I have got two lamps propped up on chairs facing them towards me so the light is adequate. We're running on limited internet here, so it feels like we're back in the dark ages. So apologies if there are any lags in this performance from me and Addy. But yeah, so we're in Como. Have you ever been to Como, Ad?
No, I've never been to Como. It's definitely on the list. I think Lake Garda's probably the closest I've been, but it's Como's definitely somewhere I want to visit.
I've got to say, we've had a fantastic week. We're here until I'm here till Saturday. I'm coming back for Saturday because I'm going to Villa Park away, which we're going to get into later. But it's been the food. I've got to say, has been out of this world. Like usually, whenever I go somewhere, I'll research a restaurant and things like that. I have not done that here. I literally just walk into a restaurant and it is unbelievable. I've never eaten food like it. So I've been a real pig. Been to some good football games. Went to the San Siro because we heard it was going to get knocked down in the next year or so. So went to see Inter versus Atalanta on Saturday, me and the boys, and got absolutely rained on, soaked to the bone. And then actually we tried to get out of there about just before half time and they won't let you out at the exits. So you have to walk around the whole ground outside to walk all the way back to where you were. So we were literally soaked to the bone. But the next day we went to Como and two of my kids were actually mascots there. And it was fantastic. I urge anyone, if you're looking for a little weekend away, go to Como FC. It is, firstly, the town's fantastic. And second, and you can, if you stay in the middle of the town, you can walk to the ground. It's like literally minutes away and it's directly on the lake, but it's like a non-league ground. It is unbelievable. And they beat Roma at the weekend to go fourth. So, and Roma, I think, were fifth. So it was a big game. They beat them. So it was a really, really good time. And they really looked after us there. So it was really, really fantastic. And obviously, being West Ham fans, we are big Lazio fans. So it was good to beat Roma. But we've
Yeah, I've
had a bit
seen
of a
the.
week.
I was just going to say, I've seen going back to Como. I saw the location. It looks like one of the unique grounds in the world, probably, because of the location being right on the lake. Um, yeah, it just looks such an impressive little ground. So, yeah, it's definitely
It's
one.
fantastic. Honestly,
Yeah.
I can't even get over how good it is. Literally like a non-league ground. It's 12,000 people, but it doesn't feel like it. And you can walk. Three of the stands haven't got a roof on it, so try and don't be in them if it's going to be wet. And
Mm.
luckily, the one we had a roof on it. But even I'm going to put it on my vlog over this week. So if you want to see a bit more of Como, go to my vlog, Living in Luxury, and you'll see it. It'll be up this weekend. And honestly, you will never seen a football ground. It's something really, really special. It's kind of
Mm.
made me fall in love with football again because it's like family run. It's kind of like it's got that feel to it. Like everyone knows each other. It's a really, really impressive place. So yeah, so really had fun. Daughter's done well, and then we go back to England next week. Or I go back, as I say, Saturday for Villa Park on Sunday. Big away game, which we're going to get to. But
Very nice.
we had a big game this week, which was Man City. Obviously, we usually do this on a Tuesday. We're on Thursday at the minute, so apologies. Gary and Mick are not here with us, but Emmerich was flying. We were a bit all over the place this week. But there was a big game at the London Stadium. Which were you at?
I was there. Yeah.
How was the atmosphere,
Um,
Ad?
Atmosphere was really good. It was really good. I think the fans realised how important it was to try and get something out of the game, and there was, yeah, the atmosphere was great. The game, I guess, wasn't so great, but we're in a results business now, aren't we? So
Yeah.
ultimately that is all. The result is all that mattered. I think that first 20 minutes was really really painful. I think at one stage. Man City had about 93, 97% possession.
Yeah.
We couldn't get near it, could we? Um,
No.
but yeah, ultimately it was a good performance in terms of a good defensive performance. Um, I've seen like Clarence Boo's mention that we've set up to basically try and get a draw, and he felt like we should maybe go for it, but ultimately we have set up to try and get the draw, and we've got the draw. So, fair play to the team, and they
Which I think's a
defended.
masterclass.
Yeah, yeah, they defended out their skin, didn't they?
Listen, and we're going to come to that straight away. The Mavropanos masterclass. I think he needs a lot of praise for that performance. Actually, the whole backline, I said it on Instagram, Todibo, I thought was fantastic. Disassi, weirdly, you're saying was the worst of the three, but was still fantastic. And Mavropanos, well, as the game was going on, I would have said Todibo was man of the match. As the game drew out, Mavropanos, I think, took it. He got the goal, which was a fantastic header. And the defence was just brilliant, wasn't it? Like, we're going against City. Like, they're going for the league title. I don't actually quite understand how anyone could say we should be setting up to win there. I don't agree with that. Do you?
No, no. I mean, I guess the chances of you getting a result by sitting back for the whole game is probably very, very slim. And when you think about it, we've had one attempt at goal in the whole game, and we've scored from it. You could say that we was, a bit lucky to get the point. So I kind of understand it. But for me, considering the players that are available and weren't available, obviously Somerville, a massive attacking threat for us, wasn't available. I think we've got to do what we can to just come away with something, because other teams are not going to come away with anything from Man City. And to get a point is actually, in the position that we're in, a huge result. So however we get it, we could have gone out on the attack and scored a couple of goals, and they would have scored three or four and lost the game just because we tried to open up a little bit. I think you've made the right decision on the day, and executed the plan to perfection. And Nuno and the players deserve so much credit for that. I thought it was a great result and a great, really, really big point.
I thought we were fantastic across the board. I thought Soucek was fantastic. Thought he offered a lot in there. I know we're going to come to him later, actually, because we're going to talk about his contract situation. But I thought he was very good. I thought Fernandez was very good. And I thought Hermansen really brings that bit of calm to us now, which is so funny that we're saying, because we both said, obviously, at the beginning how poor he was. And
And
it's what a turnaround.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like him. I hate that he's so small, but everything else about his game, he's doing really well. And like on the ball, he's like another player, isn't he? He's so calm on the ball. Um, but I mean, all of the defence, like the turnaround is incredible. I'd written off completely written off Todibo.
Me too.
Obviously, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Mav, and I've always thought there was a defender in there. For me, he's like an old school defender, like that I like, and I like that about him. But
Yeah,
he's
a bit like
improved.
James Collins in a way.
Yeah, he's that sort of centre back, but he always had a mistake in him. As much as I liked him, he did always have a mistake in, and he seemed to have improved that a little bit. Um, and yeah, and the keeper, as you mentioned, start of the season dreadful, but yeah, lately he's been very good, and it's just an incredible turnaround for me. I could never imagine we'd be in this situation with our defence after what we've sort of endured so far this season.
No, I completely agree. Like, none of us saw this coming. Like, we both had us nailed on for relegation.
Oh,
Like, there was no talking me out of it. But I do think that point is going to keep us up. I really do. I wasn't bothered what the other results were. I know a lot of people were a bit upset that Spurs and Forest, they picked up points, whatever. But I thought that was fantastic. I looked at that as dropping points from them two.
Mm.
So I thought it was really, really. I know Spurs got a draw, but I just thought we were fantastic. And I say I've got. There was a lot of fight in that team. We had no fight in us at that beginning of the season at all. Actually, not even the beginning of the season. Most of the season.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And we always harp on about having a team to be proud of and represent. We just want the team to represent the fans. We want the players to give everything, um, in every game. And out there on in that game, it was real. It was a real team effort, and it was real. A team to be proud of. And yeah, we couldn't have asked for much more. They gave absolutely everything, and they deserve to get the point.
Yeah, I went to bed absolutely thrilled that night. Like in actual fact, I
Yeah.
struggled to sleep because I was that excited because I really, really do believe that point was huge for us because it was a point that we picked up in a game that I had us that we lose. And I've got
Yeah.
that for Villa as well, which we'll come on to. We'll come in now. Obviously, I just want to just give you just see if you've got any injury update on Somerville at all. Have you seen anything?
No, I heard something. I think Roshane from the Athletic, West Ham's correspondent, mentioned that Somerville felt that he would be close for the game. Um, but what do you think? Do you, I mean, if he's touch and go, would you risk him? Is it at a stage in the season where we've got to just go for it, or do we be sensible? Um, Maybe
With
put
the
him on the
next
bench, maybe
games coming up, which are
with
at
the big, yeah, like would it be advisable not to risk him to make it worse so he's out for longer, or are we at the stage where we've just got to roll the dice and just play him and hope for the best?
I think Pablo being back is a big, big thing. I think he gives us a lot of energy. And funny enough, look, he's come back in the team. We've picked the point up against City. So it it does kind of prove our point a little bit that he is quite important to our team and the way we are set up. Very workman-like team now, in a sense.
Mm,
So
yeah,
I having him back, maybe I wouldn't risk it, no. Because I think he's going to be. We need him more for that next band of games that we've got: the Wolves, Brentford, Everton. Is it Palace?
yeah, Palace as well, and
Palace.
especially because we've got the international break after this game as well, so that gives him even more time, to
Yeah.
get fully fit. Um, but say he is fit and he's okay to play, and and he's available in the squad. What are we doing, do you think, formation wise, team selection wise?
Well,
If
that's a
so-
great way to segue into the Villa Sunday showdown because it is a big,
Mm,
big Super Sunday again for the relegation. I think. So going on to Villa, I think you're right. Do we stick with the five at the back, or do we go to four at the back?
such a tough one, isn't it? I think, I don't know. Obviously, it does depend if Somerville's fit or not. Um, because we had seemed to be playing, pretty well with the four at the back. Well, we done four at the back against Fulham when we won as well, didn't we? I'm sure we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, and
Yeah, we haven't seen the
yeah,
five for a while, I don't think.
no. So, it's such a tough one because there's a part of me that would like us to play the same team or the same formation, and if we take a point, that's still a good result. But then
I
there's part
agree.
of me that thinks, oh, are Villa there for the taking? If Somerville's back, do we go for it a
Well,
little bit?
as of recording, obviously we're recording this Thursday. Villa play tonight in Europe. So that is they've got a 3 day turnaround. Are they home or away tonight?
Think they're home. Yeah, I think they're home tonight.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a shame they're not away, obviously.
yeah.
But still, as a game, we've had a lot more rest than them, which is good for us. So I don't know. I think we still have to give Villa the respect they deserve. They have got some big players that can hurt us. I think I'd go to five at the back because Villa,
Mm,
they've got that fantastic midfield, which I know they've got some injuries in there, but then they got that. fantastic forward line as well, because they've got obviously Watkins on his day is fantastic. Hasn't had the best of seasons, but fantastic. Tammy Abraham, Morgan Rogers. But I think they've
Yeah.
got their problems in midfield, haven't they? Is Tielemans injured?
Yes, so Tielemans, yes, I think since Tielemans been injured, they have hardly picked up any points. McGinn's been a big miss for them as well. He's very influential, but
Huge.
I think he was back last week. I think he started against United, um, so he's back, which is just our luck. But I think Tielemans is the one. He makes everything ticking, for them going forward. Um, so,
They're a
but
good
yeah,
team, Villa. I really like Villa, and I think
I agree.
we can't underestimate these. Just because we got a point against City, start thinking we're a bit better than we are a little bit. And I think if you went and picked 2 points up from City and Villa, you would have bit your hand off at that, I think. Don't
Yeah,
you?
I totally agree, and especially when you think obviously Tottenham are playing Forest, so you know either one of them's gonna drop points, or they're both gonna get a point each, which keeps us still in touching distance. So um, yeah, a point of Villa away. I think because we've got so few games left, you do want to try and pick up wins where you can, but and not rely on just those home games that you think you should win. You're definitely going to need to get a surprise win from somewhere. Um, but I think a point would be a good result.
What do you think? What's your prediction for the match?
We both got it right last week, didn't we? With our little one
Yeah,
all.
I said a 3-3 draw. In
Oh,
actual
did you?
fact,
I was
I was
rather.
nearly on for the greatest sweep ever, because in our group I said Spurs lose, Forest draw, Leeds draw, West Ham draw, and Spurs got their bloody equaliser right in the thing. I would have had
Yeah,
literally a clean sweep. I was so adamant that was going to be the results as well
yeah,
around. I just fancied that Forest were going to draw, Leeds were going to draw, and us. But I think us was honestly, it feels like we got 3 points. I think against
yeah.
City for me.
I think it definitely felt like that for me as well. I think I'm going to go 1-1 again this weekend. I think it will be a tight affair. That Villa, don't want to jinx it, but Villa don't seem to be scoring lots of goals at the minute, and we're not scoring loads away from home. 1-1 for me.
I'm going 2-1 West Ham.
Oh, hello,
I am.
hello.
It's funny. I've really changed my tune, haven't I? If you're watching, a fan of this show, I've gone from Mr. Doom and Gloom to we're not going to stop winning. But
But but
I just
but I
fancy
think
us.
Yeah, and I think the reason why you're like that is because we seem so much, Liverpool game aside, we seem so much
Yeah,
more secure in defence, and we will always nick a goal. We will nick a goal. So, we can defend like we did against City. We probably will nick a goal, and that might be enough to win it.
yeah, I do agree. We've got Bowen on the pitch, which is
Yeah.
great. Tatty can pull a goal out here and there. Pablo might, who knows? Fernandez can get a goal.
And we've
So
got our man
Soucek can
Soucek
definitely
as
get a
well. Yeah,
goal. Yeah,
yeah,
so I do think that we have got goals in us. This isn't the team that I said was going down. This is a
I agree.
completely different West Ham. I never thought it was coming. And as I say, we said it last week. It's why you can't trust the fans to make decisions, because I would have 1,000% got rid of Nuno. And it also probably backs up another thing we were saying is this is why you don't bring a manager in without backroom staff, because he's managed to bring in one member of his backroom staff and he's doing well. Now imagine if he had all of his backroom staff, then
Yeah,
maybe we'd be seeing something different again. So I think I'm feeling confident. I'd love to see us win. I think last time I went to Villa Park, it might have been the Harewood. Was that no? That wasn't Villa Park, was it?
semi-final.
Was the
No, not
semi-final
that.
of it?
Not the FA Cup
Oh
semi-final,
06
surely.
FA Cup semi-final? No.
Yeah, it was at Villa Park.
Was it Villa Park, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the last time. Because I was just thinking, there was a year we went down. Did we go down up? No. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was after that. We were up. I remember going to Villa Park, and I think we were like 3-0 down before half time, and I left before half time. I just was like, I
Had
can't do
enough.
this. Yeah, and so that was the last time. I think last time I went to Villa Park, but I love Villa Park.
Yeah,
Such a great ground, isn't it? Me and
yeah,
you went
great.
twice that season, I think, to Villa Park. We went to semi-final, and was that Yannick Katan's first game as well?
It might have been. Oh, Yanif.
Where you were sitting one side and I was sitting the other for some reason. And I've got a feeling that was Villa Park. I think that was a year that we went there as well. And I think we won that game as well.
Yeah, I think I went
But
last year in the.
did
Did we
you?
get him in the cup last year?
I can't remember.
I don't
My
know. It was
short-term
either
memory of West Ham's terrible. I've blocked it out the
yeah,
last few years.
yeah. I went either last year or the year before, but it was. I'll tell you what. It was one of Potter's first games, FA Cup. We had Villa away. I think we lost 1-0 or 2-1 in the end. Yeah, I think we went 1-0 up. Did Danny Ings score? I can't remember. But we lost in the end. We lost. But it's one of Potter's
Great
first
ground there.
games.
One of the great grounds, Villa Park, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Iconic.
we move on to the 6-pointer. Forest versus Spurs.
Mm.
Big game this. How do you think? Obviously, Spurs, I don't think they've won, obviously, other than last night, in 2026.
No, that was it. I think that was their first win this year,
In
which is just
2026.
ridiculous, isn't it? Um, but I think they will win on the weekend. I think like the last week against Atletico, obviously they let three just ridiculous goals in. The keeper's made an error for two, Van der Ven slips over for one. But apart from that, I thought they actually played pretty well away at Atletico. Um,
So did I. And I know they got
yeah,
battered for it. But I agree with you. I watched that game and they could have easily drawn that game.
yeah, thought they'd done all right. And then obviously the performance against Liverpool, thought they'd done all right there. I thought they could have won that game in the end as well. So they've
Liverpool
been
were poor.
Liverpool. Oh, they stunk the place out. You can't rely on them in the minute. And then last night, I thought they was actually very good last night as a team. The effort, the work rate, they had a bit of quality in
I
there as
actually
well.
thought I'm going to say, I actually thought they were outstanding last night. I thought their
I
effort
thought they were
was
really. They looked like
incredible.
a proper team, didn't they, last night?
I'll tell
Like a
you
team,
what
real
I
team
thought was
effort.
fantastic was, and I thought he was useless, was Tao. In the
Yes,
first
he had
half,
a
he
good
was
game.
incredible.
He had a
And
good
then
game.
obviously Simon's come alive as well, which he's one of them. He's one of them one every 4 game players, and
Yeah.
he doesn't seem to do it often enough. I know we all want Spurs to go down. Like that would be the greatest year in my life. But
Oh,
right now, I
amazing.
couldn't care less who it is, as long as it's not
No,
us.
no, I agree. And I do like looking at the fixtures and stuff like that. I think it could be Forest the most likely team that we're going to catch, to be honest. They've got some tricky fixtures, and they don't seem to be playing very well at the minute. Although I did just see an alert come through a little while ago that they've gone through tonight, so they might have won. Well, they had to have won because I think they lost last
Yeah,
week, so they have to have won tonight. So that'll give him a bit of confidence. But they don't seem to be playing well. I'm not sure if he's won in the league, is he, since he's arrived,
don't
their
think
new
so.
manager.
And I think it
So
was a big mistake for them getting rid of Daesh. I really do.
yeah, yeah. And I really think it'll be them. It'll be probably them or us. And I think we don't really want them picking up wins, to be honest.
Yeah, I think me and you are probably the same. I don't think Spurs will go down at all. I really don't. I just
No,
think
I
they'll
don't.
get players back as well. There's
Yeah,
players that they'll come back, Kudos and players like that will come back and will make them stronger as well. So I'm just under that. They're playing with 15 injured players. I know they're poor. I really want them to go down. So don't get me wrong. I want that to happen. But I do think it's always been us and Forest. It's funny because we're not. I mean, we're only 1 point off Leeds, aren't we now?
yeah. Is it one or two?
Looked at,
It might be one. Yeah, yeah. It's
yes,
it's
it's
not.
not far, but it's funny.
No.
I thought Leeds were well out of it, but they're still there. I've just always thought it's us and Forest. So that's what I'm probably going to stick with at the minute. Forest go and win at the weekend, though. I think it's a bit of a problem for us because I
Yeah, I
do still
agree.
think Spurs get out of it.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Um, but yeah, if they lose at the weekend though, maybe maybe they are in for a bit of a shock.
Yeah, maybe they are. And as I say, obviously Forest have still got Europe, which is good news for us. Really
Yes.
good news.
Yeah, yeah,
If they're
yeah,
still in it as we're recording this, that's great news. And Spurs haven't got it now as well, so that's also in their favour with the league, I think. So they obviously they're out the cup as well. So I just think Spurs are going to have enough to stay up.
yeah. What do you think the result will be in that game this week? Do you think Spurs will win it?
I'm going to go 2-2.
Oh yeah, one of them games where
Yeah,
neither team want to
and I
lose.
think that's probably more that I really want it to be that result because I think both of them losing points is the best result
Mm.
for us.
Yeah, yeah, I
Not
agree.
at both getting a point, but I just think someone winning that is big. And I think Forest winning that's even bigger than Spurs.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
I
my
agree.
thing.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, mate.
So moving on, we're gonna our sort of final segment is the future and the legend exit. So
Hmm.
Soucek is up. There's a lot of talk about Soucek this week. He's rolling into his last year of his contract, obviously next season. And there is talk, obviously, it's been well publicised, that we've got to sell in the summer. And he seems to be one that will be sold.
Mm.
What do you think of that? 31 years of age, sort of a little reflection of it. 250 plus games for West Ham. Really sort of been a polarising figure. And I feel in future he'll be appreciated a lot more at West Ham than maybe he is now by a lot of the fan base, who I think me and you stand the same on Soucek actually. So I'm not that worried with what you say. I think he's been a fantastic servant. Like, what about you?
Oh, I think he's been just a brilliant, brilliant signing. Um, as a man, he seems such a good pro, good professional, gives his all in every game. Has scored countless amount of goals. Like his goals have sort of been invaluable, and
Did
he's
I
given us
see he
so.
scored 46 goals for West Ham?
I mean, that sounds about right. I mean, it
Something
wouldn't
like that.
surprise me. Yeah.
It's a lot of
Um,
goals, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot of winners, a lot of really important goals. And I always think like, there's so many times Thomas Soucek has made me so happy. And and all of our fans so happy. And I just can't I just don't understand how he gets a bad rep. Yes, he's not the most talented player in the world, but what he does, he's good at. He's a solid, solid pro. You can rely on him. He's dependable, and yeah, he scores so many important, valuable goals. I love the potato salad, and he's definitely one like a legend, as it were. Not a legend, legend. What's the word that you call him? But he's he's a iconic for us. I think an iconic player.
Would you give him a new contract?
I would give him a new contract, definitely. Yeah. Obviously, you're not looking at long term, but if it's a year or two, absolutely. And
Well,
and
I
that,
think you're not going to take a year, are you? But
well,
he's
yeah,
31, right?
yeah,
I think Soucek goes till he's 34. Minimum.
yeah.
Looks fit
I
as a
do
fiddle,
too.
doesn't he?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I agree.
So, do we learn from our mistakes last year, letting all our senior players go? Or do we do it again? And
I mean,
look,
go on, mate.
that's the
Sorry.
worry, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why we would. I mean, I do understand if we need to bring some money in. I've heard he was going to be like they're going to let his contract end and then just let him go. But if they're doing it to bring money in, I can maybe understand it. But he's the sort of player you want to, you want to, and in no matter what division we're in, whether that's the Championship or we stay in the Prem, I think he would stay with us. And yeah, why would you want to get rid of him? It makes no sense to me. And you're not going to get a huge amount of money for him anyway. I wouldn't have thought.
No, I
But he,
saw on one report that he's one of our top earners, which
oh,
actually
is he?
surprised me, actually.
Yeah, it does me too, actually.
But he's potentially our captain as well. So
Yeah,
I think it will be a huge mistake. I think a large part of the West Ham fan base will probably get their way and he'll leave. But I can't imagine he's going to bring in lots of money. What are we going to sell him for? 8, 9 million?
that's what I mean. It's
Doesn't sound like a lot of money that you'll get for Soucek now at 31 years of age, does it?
no,
And
and I
I
don't
bet
understand.
you any money David Moyes will snap him up.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, brilliant character, brilliant pro, dependable, reliable, nick your goal, brilliant in both boxes. Like, it's a no-brainer for me to keep hold of him. But yeah, we'll have to see, won't we? I'm surprised that this has come out that they're thinking of letting him go at the end of the season. I really am.
Let us know in the comment section what you think about Soucek, because I know he's polarising for a lot of people. Like I'm on lots of groups, and some of the people can't stand him, and it baffles me. I've got to be honest with you, but and then other people like us respect him for what he does, and I
Mm,
do love him. He'd always be in my team there.
yeah,
There's no one even gets close to him for me,
no.
and there's no doubting that since he's been back in the team, just with a bit of legs with him, we've been a much better team.
Yeah, cult hero was what I was trying to think of earlier.
Cult
Couldn't think of
hero.
the word. He's a
He
cult
is a cult
hero.
hero.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah.
Think how many stitches he's had while he's been at
Oh
West
my
Ham.
god. Oh my god, it's
He's one of
ridiculous.
them. He's actually almost idiotic where he puts his
Yeah,
head a lot of the
yeah.
time. But
Can imagine.
and madness, madness. But anyway, the final segment we're going to finish on is director of football. There's rumours regarding the replacement for Tim Steidten popping up at the moment, and West Ham talking about that they want to get a director of football. I'm just laughing at the thought of it. But what's your thoughts on this? Have you heard anything on this?
No, so I heard there was a fan advisory board meeting or something, and this is where it came up. And in the notes, it was saying that, the club had said that this is what they plan to do. Um, I think there's some talk that this has come about because of the January transfer business where Karen Brady was involved in all of the transfers. Apparently, uh, Pablo had a 15 million pound release clause, and we paid over 20 or something, um, which is just laughable. But it doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I think I don't know, but there's rumours that that's where it's come about with Karen Brady had having to do all the transfer business in January, and it's just probably too much. Obviously, we brought in 4 players, didn't we? Um, I don't know what to think. We've had so many directors of footballs, or head of recruitments, and they've not lasted very long at all. They haven't had complete authority over the transfers. I just don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I don't know if it's a good idea. I mean, in theory, it's a good idea, but I don't know. I just don't know what to think of it. To be honest with you, what's your thoughts?
I bet you probably think of it what I think of it. It's another West Ham smokescreen to get the fans on board a little bit, and nothing will actually change. And
Yeah.
would you anyone bother taking that job of any worth?
Well, no, not if
Like
you've
if
got
you
any
were a good
brains.
director of football, would you take that job?
Well, no,
Like
no, absolutely. That's the one. That's one of the jobs that you're definitely not going to take, isn't it? Of all the clubs.
because it's failed every single time,
Yeah.
and you are on the chopping block for it. you get some go at it, where Sullivan gets the other goes at it. It just, if it was going to be done properly, I'm all for it because I think it's exactly what we need.
I
But
agree.
I just don't know if they'll get the authority, and that's the thing. You'll get one sort of message from the club of, oh, here we go, here's the director of football, like the Tim Steidten. We all thought he was going to have control, but you don't know what Tim Steidten signed, what Sullivan signed, what someone else signed, what agent signed. And that's the problem with this. As I say, that like, I've not even heard that Pablo thing. That is just absolutely
No, it's
West
true. It's
Ham all
just,
over. I was about to say ridiculous, but it's just West Ham all over, isn't it?
especially when you consider our financial position as well, and we can't afford at all to be, wasting money where we don't need to.
Did I see something the other day that apparently the other board members and shareholders were really unhappy about the transfer business as well?
Yeah, I've heard something about Kretinsky not being happy at all, and I don't know whether this is something to do with that director of football coming in as well. But yeah, I heard something about him being a bit upset with proceedings.
Which does make sense. Because it is it's shambolic. A transfer shambolic. It's funny because we both want us to stay up so much, but I can't even look to that far in the future because I'm really worried who goes in the summer because they've put it
Mm,
out there that there will be player sales. So
yeah,
some of our big money is going to be gone.
and it's such a
And
shame as well because sorry,
go
interrupted you,
on, go
mate.
no, you go. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say because we're starting to look like a decent team now, aren't we? We are really starting to look like a good team. Um, and if we do stay up, it would have been it will mean that we've had a brilliant end to the season, which shows again that we're a good team. And then if we're just gonna have to, sell some of our crown jewels to balance the books at the end of it, it's like we're going, back to square one again. It's a depressing thought, but um, we've got to stay up, haven't we?
Who do you think them ones are that go in the summer?
Um, Very good question. I mean, if Somerville carries on the way he is, he will definitely get £100 million move. No, no, but there will be teams that come in for him. I would have
Yeah,
thought. Fernandez has been talk. I think there's been talk of Manchester United looking at him, and obviously they've got what's his name as their recruitment director now, who
yeah.
I think was involved in bringing him to West Ham. So that there could be some legs in that, and I can't imagine. I can imagine there'll be lots of teams looking at him because he's looking like a complete midfielder who's going to go to the top. So I'd imagine them two will be Bowen. I don't know. I don't know whether because obviously he's getting on a bit now.
Yeah.
We're only going to accept real big money for him. I'd imagine. Obviously, he's married into the West Ham family, uh, and so yeah, I don't know whether Bowen would go, but I think Somerville and Fernandez would be higher up on other teams' wanted
I
lists.
wouldn't be surprised to see Tadibo go because we've put him in the shop window now. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised we don't sign Disassi,
If we
which,
don't sign Disassi,
yeah,
yeah, I don't think we will, which
I
which
think some
pains
I
me.
think some clubs will come in for Disassi.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just think Chelsea and that or Chelsea would just put the price up so high now because he's playing so well that we can't afford him.
Yeah. Although what is in our favour is Chelsea are a selling club now. So
Yeah.
that is in our favour. They don't want him there. Although Rossini might want him there. So we don't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of finishing on a downer there, aren't we? We're just talking about gutting our squad.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's not finish it there then, because I think it's really weird because there's such a real feel-good factor around the club at the minute, and like everyone's getting so
Yeah.
excited for this Leeds quarter final. We're one game from a day out at Wembley, which will be absolutely amazing. Um, and the team
When
is
will that when will that
doing us proud.
semi-final be? Do you know, Ed?
Yes, it's the fifth, is it, of April? It's the Sunday. It's the Easter
No,
weekend.
no, sorry, not the
Sorry,
quarter
the
final,
semi-final. I know, I
the
don't know actually.
semi-final. No, neither
Semi-final.
do I.
No, I don't
Because I was
know.
wondering if I could still be in England for it. Like, 'cause I definitely want to go to that. But I'm going to go. I'm going to get a ticket for Leeds next Sunday. It's the 5th, isn't it? Yeah, so it's a couple of weeks down the
Yeah,
line, isn't
so,
it?
so I don't know. Can't remember if we mentioned it last week about the FA Cup being not being the last game of the season. It's there's I think there's two Premier League games after the FA Cup final, which is
Really?
yeah, it's just such a shame. They're just devaluing the FA Cup. But so that's towards the end of May. So I'd imagine the semi final will either be, don't know, last week of April, first week of May, maybe. I don't know.
I would love to see us win the FA Cup. I would absolutely love it. But we've got to beat Leeds, go to a
Yeah,
semi-final. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Proper day
yeah, and
out.
just it'll be amazing. But the good thing is that we're in form. Do you know what I mean? Of all the time to have a cup run, we're actually bang in form at the minute. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
And we've got Leeds. And look, you might come back against City, but we've just had a good crack against City.
Oh, and the other will either be Arsenal or Chelsea, which neither of them are amazing at the minute. You
No,
fancy,
especially
and we're in,
Chelsea.
like, yeah. So you never know.
I do think, I'm going to say it on here, I think Arsenal
Hmm.
win a treble this year.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to our mates earlier in the season. I said it would not surprise me if they win all four. I don't think they win the Champions League now, but they could win the treble easily.
Yeah. And not maybe the FA Cup. I mean the League Cup, League, and the Champions League. I fancy him. I really
Do
do.
ya? Do ya?
Funny, I messaged Declan Rice this morning and I said to him, well done for going through. I said, I really fancy you for the treble. I said, I fought it for a little while. I said, but I really fancy it. I said, just keep going. He said, thanks, mate. I really appreciate it. So it's like, I just really do. I just don't see anyone really better. Bayern Munich are good in it. I just fancy Arsenal can beat anyone at the minute. I know we're not Arsenal fans here, but I think we won them the league at the weekend. But I just think, I know they're not the prettiest side to watch, but they're just effective. They really are. So yeah, and I
Yeah.
just don't think the other teams are that good. As you say, that's kind of more my point, really, actually.
Mm, yeah.
But the
Oh, they could definitely do it.
also, I watched. I'm going to finish it on this. I watched an absolute brilliant. I watched two good footballing films this week. I watched Saipan, which is the Roy Keane, Mick McCarthy bust up. If you haven't seen
Oh,
that, I really
I'll de-
enjoyed it.
yeah, I definitely want to watch that.
And I also watched Kenny Dalglish, and
I've watched that one.
I thought that. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I've watched that one.
What a man!
Yeah, ledge.
Do you know what is funny? You know, when we talk about the greatest footballing teams of all time, we all say Barcelona, Manchester United, like the Fergie teams, there's two teams there, the Chelsea team, things like that. Ajax, AC Milan in the like early 90s, whatever, or late 80s. No one ever says that Liverpool team.
Mm,
They won like, I think they were, like the leagues they won. And they
I know.
won four European Cups. Like it's like, it's undisputed that they're the best. Like it is actually mad. When watching that film, you look at it and go, how is this even a debate? This is like, and actually people at Liverpool were winning like Ballon d'Ors and things like that. Like it was, Kevin Keegan won it before and they won it twice, I think, Kevin Keegan.
Mm.
But yeah, what a man of a club. You actually realise. And so if you like football like we do, go and have a look at them two films. They're really, really good. And actually another sporting film that I watched as well, weirdly, because you can tell I'm on my holidays and it's cold, was the Nazim Hamid one as well.
Yeah, I watched that as well.
Quite good, isn't it?
He's quite good. Who is it who plays his trainer? He plays a brilliant part, doesn't he?
It's
What's his name?
Pierce Brosnan.
Piers Brosnan. He's brilliant in
He's
it.
good, isn't he?
Yeah, really good.
Yes, if you haven't watched them three films, you like sporting films, there's three great, good British films that I've really, really enjoyed, all of them. Do you know what? Nazim Hamid, you just forgot how good he was. Like, he was
Oh,
just the best, wasn't
yeah. So him and Nigel Benn are my favorite boxers. I love Nassim, and in my short boxing career, I can hear my friends laughing now. He was who
he? I
I
forgot you done the
basically
boxing.
who I aspired to be. Loved him. Loved him.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? And it's
Yeah.
funny because you just haven't seen him for years, have you?
No. Yeah.
Naz, but
Just
what a man. What a man.
what a
It's funny, there's
showman
no
as
one been
well.
like him ever since, really, either.
No. No. Proper
He was just
showman.
incredible. Yeah, so if you haven't seen them films, see them films. Anyway, West Ham, we are off to Villa Park. We'll have this up for you for the weekend, and then we'll have the reaction after Villa. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.